Okay.
We're live.
Alrighty. Hold on a minute. It's still setting up.
All right. This is awesome.
Okay, guys. Hello, hello. It is 4 o'clock in Manila, but it is also 6 o'clock in Sydney. So for all the Sydney-siders or Australians out there who are watching this live right now, thank you for being here this afternoon. It's going to be a fabulous afternoon with a special guest that I'm, one of my closest friends who has helped me through my journey in the pageantry, and we'll talk about that when I bring him on. So without further ado, guys, I am so happy to introduce to you Mr. Alphie Sadsad, an international makeup artist stylist. He is the head artistry lead for Sephora Australia. Alphie, are you there?
I am. I'm so here. I'm so excited. I have my glass of wine and I'm ready to chat.
I know. I got to get mine too. Anywho, so of course, right now we have a lot of time on our hands, and what's been so inspiring that I've been seeing that you've been posting a lot about your passion, what you're doing in regards to empowering makeup and just the art of it all. Please tell us a little bit about, of course, I have some students here live, hearing also the inspiring journey that you've had. How did you begin? How did makeup became your number one in your life?
All right. So 20 years ago, I celebrated my 20th. I'll be celebrating my 20th in August. So wow. I've been doing makeup for 20 years. And I went to university and I hated it. So what I did was, I was already dabbling in doing a little bit of hair and doing a little bit of makeup just on the side, as me being a little queen in Sydney. Sneaking at my mum's room and trying to put some powder or lipstick on. And then that's how I started my passion. But I actually went to uni, and most of the time I was at a bar drinking. Yeah. So what I did was I was failing that year and I decided to defer uni. And then all of a sudden, I was literally bumming on the couch, and my parents go, "You need to do something with your life, do something that you love to do." So I said, okay, why don't I do a part-time course in makeup? And then so my parents are a bit, oh, okay, how much is that? How much is that going to cost? And then so I did a part-time course. I did it every Sunday. And then all of a sudden, probably on the second week, I went, oh my God, love it. So after that, my mentor back then, one of my teachers basically said to me, why don't you do the full year course? Because it's a little bit more intensive. I learned a lot more. And then so I said, okay, spoke to my parents, a lot of money after that. Basically, they said, what are you going to pay for? Are you going to pay for university, or are you going to pay for your private college? And I said, no, I thought that the private college was a lot more expensive, but yeah, so they paid for that. And then I did that for 1 year. And then all of a sudden, one of my mentors basically put me under her wing. And to this day, I still talk to her. She's already a retired makeup artist. And yes, so she's seen my journey from a little wee teenager or young adult, like a 20-year-old, and now as a national artistry lead for Australia and New Zealand. So yeah.
Amazing.
It's taken me all around the world. It's taken me to the Philippines several times, and I love it. It's only been recent that, all honesty, that I've actually started embracing me being Filipino. So now I love the Philippines. My partner and I go to the Philippines quite a bit. We see Mafae, we drink up and have fish balls by the time we get out of the club. Yeah. Anyway, that'll probably be another Zoom call or another session, but yeah, it's another story. But it's taken me all around the world. I lived in the UK. I did some makeup there. And makeup, I've been like, I still have the passion for it, but now my passion is always teaching other people on how to do and how to be comfortable with makeup.
I love it. I love that story. And you know what? Back in 2002 or three, oh, it was already three. Where were you at that stage? Were you already, because I know, like what I was saying earlier in the introduction, guys, Alfie was one of, actually, apart from my aunt, Alfie was the other makeup mentor I had. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. No. I thought you had amazing people around you. I thought, oh, I'm gonna teach Mafae a little bit of things.
No, the one-on-one session that you gave me that one night, I will never forget it, because I think it was super cold too. And then I drove to your house after winning Bini Bini, and I came home to visit. We have a mutual friend who is probably watching. Hi, Atakala, we love you. Introduced us, but I know we knew each other already from Anna, who was my high school.
Yes, my cousin.
One of my high school best friends, and that was our connection also. But when it came to makeup, I think it was Atikala that told me, hey, Alfie would love to help, or you should go to Alfie. And I was like, yes, of course. And then that night I went to your house and we just had a really good time. I mean, you know me, exactly. I'm not really until now my students know that I'm still somewhat of a basic makeup, you know, even though, you know, what I've done. But you really helped me, like, you know, understanding the skin tones and colors. And, you know, I wasn't one who can really experiment. So the way you taught me, I always remembered it because it was just simple, you know?
Yeah.
Simple colors, simple shades. And then, yeah, my aunt did the same. I mean, with her teaching, it was fancier, but your teaching and mentoring with me stuck. And I think you gave me a few pens, I think, but I still had those. And then someone told me, hey, you know, you're supposed to keep makeup for like 20 years. And I'm like, you know, it's sentimental to me, so I'm keeping it. Of course, I'm not using it anymore.
Oh, thank God.
I know, right? So that's one thing that, yeah, I've learned is that, of course, makeup does not last forever. But if you use makeup often or every day, right, then it's the use of it is you know, it was bought for that that anyways. But
yeah.
So right now, I know we're challenged. We're at home, so I would love to hear, and of course, a lot of people would love to hear, how do you stay motivated? You know, of course, you're so used to being in the store or at events. How are you motivating yourself and still sharing your skill?
Oh my God. So this is the hardest thing ever, to stay motivated, because literally working from home is making me really crazy. So the way that I feel motivated, or the way that I get motivated is pretty much what I share on Instagram and what I see on Instagram. So it's all about social media for me right now. So the private DMs that I get, the comments that I get, the likes that I get, it motivates me to do more, because the more that you guys interact with me, the better for me to basically share my craft. Because if I don't get any, I know this is really cheesy, but if I don't get any likes or comments, it's like, I feel really deflated. But if I do get a lot of, like, something really silly, I get so many DMs. It's like I did these, I keep on doing these makeup challenges, and the last one I did, I got so many DMs, and it was like, why would people reply to this? It's such a stupid thing. But literally what I did is I put highlighter all over my face, and that makes me laugh, and that makes me motivated. You know, being in Sydney right now, we're not necessarily in lockdown, but we are advised to stay home. So it's a lot of contact from creative people. So a lot of my workmates that I keep in contact, we have like a coffee break in the afternoon that we all call each other. It's like a little house party that we do. We don't talk about work, we just talk about whatever. Motivated, alcohol. That always helps. Anything. But social media is a really big part right now. That always keeps you motivated.
Right. So for the minors listening, of course, we take the note
Yes.
of hanging out with each other. I mean, I love that what you mentioned, that you have a hangout every afternoon with your team, and this is something that I've also created during this time, is to have this kind of hangout or even just touch base with everyone. That's why now it's become more interesting, because I've invited guest speakers, which is, of course, you're one of them. And, you know, this is something that is needed right now. And that's why I really love the fact that there's a platform of social media that we can share, you know, self-love campaign. And
exactly.
For you just making, you know, like you said, there is, and it's not an issue, but I guess the challenge for people right now to want that attention, or possibly that affirmation that we're still loved, we're still, you know, being seen with what we love. Like you said, you know, there are people that are looking at their likes, looking at their followers. But then when you do something silly, not necessarily serious, people are more, what do you call
inclined
this?
to interact with you.
Yes. So you know, this is such a great platform right now to be silly, because people need to smile. People need to laugh. I know I
Exactly.
saw someone else, another couple here in the Philippines. They did a makeup thing where the husband was behind the wife, and it was his hands doing the makeup.
I might do that.
Yeah, I think it'll be funny. You know, I mean, this is this is the time to be really creative with your content on social media. Just, I mean, if you have that mindset of just wanting to entertain or inspire others or make people laugh, then, you know, this is the time. You know, and then after that, for sure, they will still follow you regardless of after the quarantine or after, you know, our situation right now. So with that, apart from your your motivation to liquids, do you also exercise? Is there a meditation? Is there exercising happening?
I think it all depends on each day. So I try to go for a walk. If not a walk, you know, when I wake up in the morning, I don't necessarily go straight to get a coffee or turn on the TV. Sometimes I literally just sit down on the couch and just listen to silence, in a sense. I don't, like, for me, I've tried meditating, but my mind goes everywhere. So I haven't found the right meditation yet. But I think my form of meditation is more like listening to quietness, listening to just my surroundings itself. Like, I'm very lucky that the apartment that I have, or the apartment that we have, is pretty much, we have a lot of birds out. So listen to the birds, or and we have lots of gardens around here. So walking always clears my mind.
Right.
I'm not a big exercise person per se. However, I do encourage everyone to exercise because it clears people's heads and minds. But you do you. You know, if you love to run, you run. Yes. So anything.
As you do.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, Mafae?
I said that's nice, because for you, I know that you're such a busy person. You know, you're always surrounded by people. You're always speaking, you know, explaining, you know, while you're applying makeup on others. So your quiet time is something for you to kind of refresh yourself, right?
Exactly.
So
It's a little recharge.
yes, exactly. And that's something that everybody needs, you know. Like Alfie said, find what helps you. You know, happy hormones is something that we should target right now. Whatever makes you happy, at the same time makes you feel relaxed.
Yeah, exactly.
So is there anything new that you've learned about yourself during this time, or anything new that you've tried?
Anything new? Like, for me, I think it's more that I'm very patient in regards to cooking now. Like, I thought just following a recipe is fine, but now like with Michael, what Michael was saying was he's more to do with, like, I can think of a recipe or think of flavors when I'm cooking already. I don't necessarily need a recipe book. So that's what I've discovered is cooking, and cooking without using tools like recipe books or the interweb.
So what have you cooked that is interesting and that you would like to
So
share?
what have I cooked? So I've cooked like a beef stew on top of my head. It's really cold. It's getting colder in Sydney right now, so it's a lot of very hearty meals. So lately it was like a beef stew. I made a spaghetti bolognese yesterday. However, I didn't have all the ingredients I normally used to. So you know what? Why not? We're all in isolation. So what I did was I just whipped something up yesterday and it was delicious. Like right now, I couldn't be bothered cooking. So what we did was we had cheese and meats and bread. So yeah.
As long as it is wine.
Yeah. I don't encourage alcohol, but yeah, it does help a little bit.
Anyways, going back to your passion and your career,
Yes.
what is the most memorable, I guess, event or person that you've applied makeup on?
All right, so 20 years is a lot. So not necessarily applied on, like makeup applied on. I don't necessarily get starstruck per se, because working with talent, you can't necessarily be going, oh my God, I love you so much, I'm such a fan. You can't do that, because what you do is they put a block up and then, yeah, they don't trust you as much. So I don't necessarily like talking about who would be my favorite person to apply on or within my 20 years. The best things that I've had within my 20 years is moving to the UK, working for Giorgio Armani. Lately it was going to Milan, doing Milan Fashion Week for Versace, working alongside Pat McGrath, that is an iconic makeup artist. Wow. Yeah, doing campaigns, those things motivate me more so. And those are things that really sit really close to my heart. Nothing so famous. Like, I still remember this lady. I was working in a department store and this lady had cancer, and I didn't necessarily know that she had cancer, and she'd she hasn't applied makeup on for the time that she had chemo. And then the time that I actually started applying and teaching her how to do it, she goes, I went to every single makeup counter and you were the only one that basically sat me down, because every single makeup counter basically said to me, I had to pay for it. So literally what I did was I just sat her down and applied makeup and then taught her everything that I needed to teach her. And she was very touched by that. You know, those are the things that really matter, rather than things that are superficial.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's such a nice story. I have a question here. What was your first makeup job? Do you remember?
It was a wedding. It was a wedding that I did. It was in Quakers Hill, so it's in outer west of Sydney. And I still remember this. I applied blue eyeshadow on this bride. Blue eyeshadow. I thought it was bloody amazing, and she thought she looked amazing, but I still remember this. And surprisingly, her niece reached out to me on Instagram. She found me on Instagram and said, you did my auntie's makeup 19 years ago, whatever it was. And she goes, my auntie couldn't stop talking about you. But I still remember the bride being, oh my God, I put blue eyeshadow on this bride. And this is shock horror. So yeah.
Something blue was you.
Blue, yeah, something blue. She was, yeah. And she was like Filipino background. And I thought, oh my God, she's rocking it. She's amazing.
Do I know?
No. I don't know. I don't even remember her name anymore, but I remember that,
No, we don't.
yeah, it was blue eyeshadow. That's all I remembered.
Okay, so another one follow up. Have you progressed in your career as you have expected? Do you think?
Um,
I'm pretty sure there is more, but what do you?
there is more. I think there is more, but I think because okay, to be honest, I've reached probably the pinnacle of where I am now to working for Sephora. But there is other steps above this. And it's all up to me. Like, I think everyone that I talk to, they're saying there's a higher being, there's something else after this. So I don't know.
Right.
I really don't know. Yeah.
Maybe
they could be
your own line of makeup.
I've seen a lot. So working for Sephora, I have seen a lot of founders creating their own line, and it's hard work. And there's nothing new. There's nothing innovative of makeup anymore. Like a brown eyeshadow is a brown eyeshadow. Like, yeah. So, yeah. I don't think a makeup line will be me. I think it would be more. I think my dream would be finding a Kim Kardashian or something, and traveling around the world with her.
Right. Okay, so when will you be fully satisfied with where you are when it comes to this industry?
I am extremely satisfied now. I'm so happy and grateful of what I've achieved. I've only been in this role for 2 years, and it's already ticked a lot of boxes for me, and I'm extremely satisfied. But I think my suggestion to everyone is never be too settled. You should always feel a little bit uncomfortable, especially when you have, especially in your career, because when you're uncomfortable, this is when you push yourself a little bit more. Because if you're satisfied and you're plateaued, like, you're not going to be motivated to wake up every morning. You're going to be going, oh my God, okay, I need to go to work. I need to put this bloody blue eyeshadow on. No. You really need to basically be you need to be just that little bit uncomfortable.
Right.
For you to be motivated and for you to have that charge. Because the moment that you reach that next step, that's when you feel really going, oh, I can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Challenge yourself all the time.
Yes. I have a question from Jonathan. Where is the best place you've visited?
Best place I visited. Okay. I have like a really soft spot for Europe. So, you know, Venice for private travel, or Milan when I went there for Fashion Week. You know, there's a lot. Like, I'm just, yeah, anything that comes with me by traveling, that's the best place. Like, even like, I think of late, the last time I went to the Philippines, the best place that I went to was my dad's ancestral home, and seeing my grandparents' gate with the surname Sadsad on it. And my partner was going, oh my God, your surname's on a gate. How amazing is that? And it's literally not fancy at all, right? It is in the middle of a province where you only see water buffaloes and rice fields, and that's it. But it was very picturesque, and it was very moving because it was personal to me.
Okay, so I guess we're still in the famous people category. Who is the most famous person you've worked with in your entire career?
Mafae Udon. That's the most famous person. No. All honesty, I've been given this question so many times from editors, or when I get interviewed. I don't necessarily talk about celebrities per se, or who the most famous person, because I think everyone that sits on my chair should be famous or should be amazing. So it's nothing to do, like, a celebrity is their job.
Right.
Right? A farmer, it's their job. Like, everyone's a celebrity in their own game. You know, everyone has a ring light these days. So I beg your pardon?
I'll change up the question so that
All
at least
right.
you can answer. Who would you want to apply makeup on or work with that you haven't yet, obviously?
Well, I haven't yet. All right. I think Gigi. Gigi Hadid. I've been really obsessed right now. Someone basically shared a profile with me on Instagram, and her name is it Love? Is it Love? Like, she's a Filipino actress or model, and Heart, that's it. She is beautiful, like stunning. And I think if I ever meet her, I would love to do her makeup, because I think, you know, she's so sincere. And every time I see her videos and every time a friend of mine sends a video of her to me, it's like, I just want to be your friend. I just want to be your friend. Yeah. So I think anyone that knows Heart, please call me.
We'll tackle on this, don't worry. Okay, so any other questions, guys? Just feel free to type it on the chat box. Students, I expect you guys to have more questions for Alfie. But yeah, so in line with this challenging time, how do you keep in touch with family? Do you guys also have a hangout every day, or how's everybody as far as your core group?
So we do a lot of messenger sort of chat groups. So like today, this afternoon, before we actually got into this call, my mum organized a mass. So we literally did it live on Messenger, and listen. And she had the priest at her house. It's because now we're allowed to have 2 adults in each house, like visitors. So she had a priest over, and basically we had mass as a family on Messenger. So yeah, we try to organize like group chats, but it does get really crazy because we don't necessarily, we talk over each other. And just regular messages. It doesn't necessarily need to be long-winded phone calls. It could just be as, okay, I'm thinking about you. So yeah.
Exactly. That's something I mentioned to the students too, is that this is a time to reach out to people that you haven't spoken to for a long time, or even just your family. Just, hey, how are you? It doesn't have to be like a long conversation. It's just checking in. Okay, we've got something here. Okay, what's your favorite makeup tool and why?
Makeup tool will be your fingers, will be your hands. Because why is because you can use your fingers to do multitudes of things. So you can use it to blend, you can use it to apply, you can use it to warm, you can use it to massage, you can use it. Without your fingers, you know, you won't be able to do makeup well, in a sense. But yeah, fingers will be my best friends. Yeah, fingers are my best friend. Like it's not a brush, it's not a sponge. Yeah.
Oh, we have a question from our BFF, Atakala. Yes. What are you going to do? What's the first thing you will do when everything goes back to normal?
Oh my God. Meet up with my friends. Have a great dinner. And I know this is alcohol again, but it's have a really nice dirty vodka martini at my favorite bar.
Honesty is the best policy.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not an alcoholic, I promise.
No. So I guess Atikala, you're invited to that.
Yes.
All right, another one. Why is your favorite makeup brand? What's your favorite makeup brands? started by a celebrity and why? Oh, what's the makeup brand by a celebrity do you like?
By a celebrity that I love right
For
now.
example, like the Kylie Cosmetics, Jeffree Star Cosmetics, those. Like, which one of those is your favorite?
Unfortunately, and I'm just being the honest truth, I don't necessarily gravitate to celebrity makeup artists or celebrity makeup brands per se. Like, don't get me wrong, Kylie has done such an amazing job in creating a makeup line, and her textures are okay. It's just not my jam. It doesn't live in my kit in a sense. I'm more to do with, no matter what brand it is, it's all about the textures and it's all about what it does to the skin itself. So I think being in the industry for so long, I trust a lot more people that do the makeup every single day. Like, for example, your Pat McGrath or your Patrick Tar. You know, those are the brands that I normally trust a lot more because they use it on a regular basis. Like Pat McGrath herself was the one that developed Luminous Silk by Giorgio Armani 25 years ago. And now she's just literally just brought up a whole range of makeup that is purely amazing. You know, those are the things I gravitate to. Celebrities, not so. I will probably look into it more so, but I don't necessarily grab them, no. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Okay, so what's one makeup that you cannot live without? Like a lipstick or maybe a highlighter? What's makeup?
For me, I think if I'm using it myself, it would probably be more of a foundation. So why a foundation is because there are times that my skin's a little bit more uneven. So what that does, it helps to make it more even. Lipstick per se, I don't. Lipstick I do gravitate. Like, I think if I had 3 desert island products, it would be a sunscreen, a lipstick, and an eyelash curler.
Of course, you'd have the lashes. Okay, so like I told you earlier, I have some young people who are here watching us and want to be inspired by you. So there's a particular viewer right now. She's 10 years old. She's never applied makeup, but she wants to learn how. So how, as a beginner, do you apply eyeshadow? What's the the beginner steps?
I think if I'm speaking to a 10-year-old, I would probably keep it extremely natural, right? Because you're still beautiful, you still have a lot of time, you still have a lot of growing to do. So what I normally tend to do is enhance what you already have. So what I probably suggest is, and when I do a model that is quite young, and the brief is, it's all up to me. What I do is I use a little bit of foundation or tinted moisturizer because a 10-year-old skin is still amazing. I would do an eyelash curler. I would brush their brows up using clear brow gel, and I would go for a cream blush on the cheek with like a lip gloss that's a tint rather than a full-on color. I think that is a lot more flattering for a 10-year-old rather than a shadow, a highlighter, a contour, you know, things like that. But what I would suggest is finding a professional to teach you step by step so you are more confident on applying it yourself. And so you're not there. Like, I remember my cousins when they were growing up, black eyeliner inside the rim of the eye. They thought they were cool as beans, but you know, there are times that you need someone that is a little bit more mature to go, no, maybe a black eyeliner is not right for you.
Yeah, not right now.
Not right now.
I know, you know, eyebrows are like a huge thing for beauty, for women, for, you know, just in the makeup industry. So what would you recommend? What age do you recommend to have eyebrows shaped? Because, you know, a lot of it, a funny story. My daughter did this fashion show, and then of course I was the director, and we had a makeup sponsor. And then she came back to me and she said, "Mom, the lady like threaded my eyebrows," and I was like freaking out because like no, it's like a mother-daughter. What?
Exactly.
So that's my like, you know, something that I know maybe a lot of moms or even my student, the 10-year-old, would have a question mark about. When, like what age and how would you recommend to shape the eyebrows?
All right. So this is just my opinion. So I think keep it as long as, so if from my experience with my nieces are half Italian and, you know, they're not necessarily the smoothest girls. And so if their eyebrows are starting to join together, I would probably suggest to do this middle part first, right? Get that done, leave the sides. And the trend right now is all about full brows. It's not full shaped. It's not necessarily very thin, or it's all thick, fluffy brows. So I would suggest it's all up to the individual and the mother, in a sense. I would probably go, and if it starts to look very crazy, that's when you can start doing bit by bit. Don't go for the whole reshape of the arch. Just keep it very natural. So the way that I normally tend to suggest to clean eyebrows, even for models, and the models that I tend to do here in Australia, is they clean this, they clean, if I go closer, sorry guys, if I clean just underneath there, and then just whatever hair that goes on top there, that is perfectly fine. Like a little bit of growth here is so youthful right now. Brushing your brows up is extremely youthful. It's no longer, the trend right now in Australia is it's all about laminating. So the brows are up, the brows are flat. It's not fully shaped. It's not like back in the day. Like I remember back in the day, I used to have threaded eyebrows thinner than Mafae's eyebrows. And then thank goodness that my brows sort of grew out. And then so keep it really natural as long as you can. Like I think Anne Curtis, she's a great example of a perfect modern brow. Is it Anne Curtis? Is she half Australian, right? Anne Curtis? Yeah. She would be my ideal brow.
There was a time that it was like a line. Another funny story, I experienced it. I guess my makeup artist during Bini Bini was more nervous than I was, that he shaved half of my eyebrow off. And the only way I realized it is when the pageant was over, when I was at home and I cleaned it, and it was like, oh my gosh, my so then I was like, yeah, I'm glad they grew back, but yeah, I think the thick eyebrows is in also. Okay, so another question: does it really matter if shades are pigmented, or would you rather have sheer makeup that you can build up?
I think if you're studying, a sheer transparent pigment is so much easier for you to use. But if you're in a rush, if you're backstage and you're in a rush, you need pigment. You need that makeup to be on because you need to be out of there by half an hour or something. It just all depends. It depends on what you're comfortable with. Like I have eyeshadows that are quite sheer and natural when it has a purpose, but most of the time, pigments are my best friend because I know how to control them.
Okay. One more. Who is your favorite makeup artist in terms of their style, apart from yourself?
Again, Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath, she's been, she pushes the limitations. She pushes the boundaries of makeup. You know, one of my favorite styles that she's ever done was, or there's a couple of them anyway. It was the Maison Valentino collection, Haute Couture, and she did this glittery holographic face. And it was amazing in the way that it was applied. It literally, each glitter spot looked like a blush, looked like foundation, but it was all glitter. And then the other one she did was for Valentino as well, and it was very sort of porcelain doll girl with beautiful feather eyelashes. So she can go from one extreme to the other.
So with that, sorry, this is in line with the question before this. What's the best way to blend the makeup? Best way? Is it your hands again or your fingers?
It depends on the time you have. So if you only have a couple of minutes to get out of there, yeah, use your fingers to blend. But a clean brush, the best shape for blending would probably be more like a ponytail brush. So it looks like a little ponytail. So it's like cinch on the bottom and then fans out a little bit, but it fits your socket. Yeah, a brush would blend a lot easier, but it does take a little bit longer for you to blend it.
Are you watching a lot of Netflix right now?
I am watching a lot of Netflix. I'm watching a lot of, so here we have Disney Plus, we have Netflix, we have Stan, we have Foxtel. I'm watching a lot of those,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of shows on Netflix, like makeup competitions.
Yeah.
There was a one in UK that I was
in the
watching.
UK,
and then right now, I think one of my students are watching RuPaul's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And then
love it.
So yeah, one of my students is asking you, have you watched RuPaul's Drag Race? If so, which drag queen is your favorite makeup look in the contest?
Raven. Raven is my favorite. She is beautiful. So I think she was like season 19, whatever it was, like the very first season. But Raven is such a beautiful makeup artist. Detox is another one that I love. Manila, Luzon, she has hits and miss. But yeah, there's a lot that I love. Yeah. They're all very talented makeup artists because if they can do that, they can do anything.
Right? Crazy. Bavik is asking, what's the most favorite makeup look you've done for someone or for yourself? You know, Alfie has a lot of makeup tutorials or even like makeup selfies videos that he's posted on his Instagram. You guys should check it out after this. But yeah, for you to answer it right now, what is your favorite look you've done on yourself? Let's start with that.
Okay, what I've done on myself, my favorite look is, like my jam of makeup is all about enhancing a natural beauty, right? So my favorite look on myself is creating a flawless base for myself without making it look like I'm wearing makeup. So because I am in front of the camera, I am in front of lights, I do a lot of those things that I need a little bit of help. So my favorite makeup to me is all about creating a flawless base without making it look like I'm wearing foundation. I remember when I was in the Philippines a few years back, and I did a magazine spread for Mega, and I was part of the article, and they put so much makeup on me that I didn't like it. But my favorite way of doing makeup is hardly anything, but it looks flawless. On a model or on a shoot, I think my favorite makeup would be, it was a long time ago. I think it was the very first fashion show that I led myself. And it was pretty much like a holographic skin with a statement blue lip.
Wow.
And she was the winner of Project Runway in Australia, and now she went as a runner-up as a what is it? All Stars Project Runway.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna look that up, guys. So again, I want to just follow Alfie on Alphie Sadsad, his Instagram, so that you can check out all his tutorials. I have one more question for you.
Yes.
To wrap up, what is your favorite? I'm not gonna say what is your challenge, but what is your favorite event to apply makeup? Is it a wedding, a fashion show, or a photo shoot, like a magazine shoot? What's your most favorite?
I think a magazine shoot is my favorite because it does push my creativity a little bit more, and I do have more time to create really beautiful makeup, because my goal is less retouching is my goal. So if the photographer says I don't need to retouch as much, I just need to do this, this, and this, that is my goal. That is my favorite thing to do. As in fashion shows, you don't have time to perfect that. So literally it's like smack back, push out, and that's it. So yeah, it would probably be more of a shoot than anything else.
But it's awesome for you to love doing photo shoots, because I know that is like, I mean, fashion shows and a wedding is forever too, but with magazines, I know they're OC about, their spreads, and it has to be perfect. And as much as possible, they do not want to edit. They don't want to do Photoshop. So they really have to get artists, photographers, lighting, and everything like that. But okay, one more. Love your skin. Do you like trying new skincare products, or do you keep a certain routine?
So with my role, I have to try a lot of new skincare brands. I stick to a particular routine. Like I cleanse my skin quite often. I exfoliate. I use active ingredients like retinol, vitamin C, vitamin A, things like that. So I use a lot of my skin. Of late, Korean beauty or Korean skincare has, or K skincare is very popular here in Australia. And we've literally launched a new brand called Suasu that I love. It's done wonders for my skin. Koreans can never do any wrong with skincare because they're so finical with their skin. So for me, as my job, I have to try a lot of new brands, and I try to keep, like, I have one that I on display and the other ones that I normally tend to use every single day. But my thing is making sure that your skin's clean. You use beauty tools to either clean and apply your products. Take your time, do self-care on yourself. So meaning that you're not literally just washing it really quickly, you're taking your time to do it and appreciating everything that you put on. Be mindful of your movements when you're doing it on your face, because it shows. And that's the time for yourself, like especially if you do have a big family or you're always in public eye, like you in the bathroom is your own time. So do that. Take your time. Take 5 minutes out of your day just to do that for yourself and no one else.
Yeah, that's such great tips. And of course, don't forget to drink lots of water.
Exactly. Lots of water is one of my go-tos. Like doing 3 liters of water is one of those things that you really need to drink. No matter if warm water, room temperature, not cold. Ice water is so not necessarily, it's okay, but it's not necessarily the best for you. So drink lots of antioxidants like green tea, like especially in the morning. The antioxidants are great for your skin to make it more alive. And don't be afraid of the sun. But if you go to the sun, make sure you put sunscreen on.
Yeah, exactly. Sunscreen is also your best friend.
It is.
But thanks, Alfie, for joining us this afternoon. I know we can go on and on and on. I mean, I know. Everybody here, feels like there's so many more to know about your career and your expertise. So everyone, again, please follow Alfie on his social media. Can you plug in also, you have YouTube, in your upcoming projects? Like once this lockdown is done, what's happening for Alfie?
What's happening with me? I don't think, like, I think I'm in limbo right now. Like there was a lot of things that were planned prior to isolation. So right now I'm just taking it day by day and being really grateful in what I'm doing every single day. 2021 will be everyone's year. I think it's going to be an amazing year for everybody. And I think whatever I've missed out this year for 2020 will go to 2021. So going to trips for work, you know, there was one trip that was postponed to go to the States and to meet up with the brand founder, or even going to Europe. So I'm hoping 2021 will be those, and a lot of our new shoots will be coming out. So my Instagram will be extremely busy in 2021.
Amazing. I can't wait to see all of your projects. But for now, you're going to share your silly videos with us, right?
Yes. So like, comment, slide me a DM, do whatever you want to do. Yes, I would love to hear from you guys. I have a lot of time.
Make sure you
if you want to have a chat, yes.
Yes.
But thank you so much.
Anyway, thank you, Alfie. I just want to request everyone who's on this Zoom, can I show you guys so that we can take a quick group photo before we say see you later to Alfie. Hello, students. Show your face now. And to everyone on Facebook, thank you for tuning in.
Gosh, they're all beautiful, Mafae. I'm just scrolling down. It's like, oh my God.
Thank you. Be proud, guys. Strike the pose. Okay, let's smile. 1, 2, 3. So thanks, guys. Thank you, Alfie. I hope to bring you back again.
Yes.
Let's cook something for us, or maybe do a makeup tutorial.
Perfect.
Let's plan it.
Let me know what you want to do. I'm all yours.
Yeah, I will. Thank you. Love you.
Thanks, everyone.
And again, guys, we'll have.
Keep safe.
Yes, and watch out for our announcements on Facebook, and then also on the MMC group chats. All right. So thanks, guys. I hope you have learned a lot. See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.